might have been stated that it was over exaggerated because she didn't end up in the hospital.
It was good, my fellow musketeers and musketeers, whatever. But anyway, we about to react to a video by Meezy or Old Meezy. AMP got a RaKai problem on their hand now. From the clips I seen of RaKai, I'm not gonna lie, bro needs to chill out, gang. I don't really know him. I just know him through the clips because I don't really be watching streams and shit like that. But I think he be doing too much sometimes. I seen the clip when he burned somebody's. They got into an argument, bro. It's like holding himself back from trying to hit that nigga. Cause he burned his jersey and started yelling at him like, "Oh, you a grown ass man." Da, da, da. I'm not the biggest NBA fan, but if a nigga burned my Wayne Rooney or my Neymar jersey or my Rashford jersey, I ain't gonna lie. And it's a little nigga yelling at me about I'm a grown ass man after he fucked my setup up.
Kai needs to be stopped. By all means, this is not a hate video. Y'all gotta stop giving this the excuse that he's just a kid. Understand everybody's not the same. Some people don't think the same. They need to start disciplining this RaKai.
Now hold on, that's my young boy.
Nah, like
sure
discipline him, like whoop his ass.
I'm sure that he's just being a little over the top.
No, bro. The clips I seen with this thing, I didn't even seen him in I didn't even see bro in the streamer university, so all them shits. But I know he was acting up. But from the clips I seen of that nigga, bro, that nigga be doing a lot. And it seemed like he's always the one causing the problem. Alright, that.
I gave you a coat right back, bro. No, you did. I did. And after that, I come back in the room. I'm fighting you and Jamal at the same time.
Right now.
Let's play around more and take your ski.
Bro, I'm gonna keep the butt down. No,
come on, bro. Chill, bro. Hey, bro, chill.
Dabo, I actually fuck with Dabo. Oh yeah, I heard this shit.
Turn the camera off, man. Huh? Turn the camera off. No, that's crazy.
Nigga room always messy as fuck.
You throw water in the security face, bro?
Okay, we got something on our hands. Now, normally we can excuse this behavior as normal 16-year-old ignorance, which I think a lot of people have been doing. But coming off of Streamer University, there has to be a real examination of RaKai, his actions, his attachment to the group, and why streamers think that this is the way to make content going into 2025. Now, every time I try to make a video on RaKai, I get the news of the night and then upload it to my Notion, record it and everything like that. And as it's getting edited and ready to go, something different happens. And this time he pulled a prank that he thought,
let me guess, this is the video where he popped somebody in the eye, right?
Was funny because
his
person who was doing his hairdresser messed up on his hair, so he called the cops to ask them how to sue. And it was a joke until the cops actually showed up.
Chat, word to my mother, the cops are here. Word to my mother, but I don't know how to got my address.
Damn. So like, this nigga actually took it to the next level. You know what we used to call the cops, prank call the cops when we were younger? Usually they hang up, they don't pull up, but they actually pulled up on this nigga. And my camera gonna die, so.
This is like kid 101.
I literally called the cops, but I hung up mad quick. Niggas still put up. Yeah, they track our phones.
RaKai is a 16-year-old streamer who has risen to prominence by basically being a Cenat clone, taking on that moniker.
I do talk, bro. It's like
Cenat. He's a part of the AMPG League, as they are calling them, and he's been pumping out a lot of content and seeing a lot of success. But there's a lot of people asking, why is it that
this shit dead.
Creators, namely
like 5 more seconds,
want to be associated with a little kid
not even 5 more,
hyperactive, who is doing all these crazy things and is depicting themselves like this on the internet.
Hold on, let me switch to the webcam. I say this webcam acting mad bougie, like it don't want to turn on. Like, you mad? You the side piece?
Internet.
I'm a bitch. I'm a hoe. I don't have no rights. I'm a bitch. And I'm short and ugly and black.
What?
What the f is
I feel like a lot of bro outbursts was just. I feel like a lot of his outbursts was just mainly for, you know, clicks and views. You can't blame it on his age, but it's like, yeah, you can blame it on his age, but at some point you're gonna have to grow up, bro. Like all that shit, all that rage and shit you doing, bro, it's not Yes, I'm reading chat.
Now, a lot of people would say that this is just normal interactions and behaviors of a 16-year-old kid. Wasn't me when I was
No,
16,
hell
but that's
no.
what people have been ultimately saying. And there have been a lot of people saying, you know, this is content. And I do agree to that to some extent. If we look at some of our favorite streamers or content creators back in the day, they used to do similar actions like this. Hell, I know Phantom from being that crash out on 2K who threw chairs through walls and doors and stuff like that and would rage every single time, you know, playing the game and losing. Raging was a thing. Raging is a thing. That is some sort of content. But it seems that the community is saying that RaKai is taking it too far and they are a little fed up of him, his actions, and his shenanigans.
RaKai don't got no. You know that shit that tells you I probably shouldn't do this. It's probably I shouldn't.
Like not the inner dialogue or monologue. Like, you know, you got an inner voice. Like, you know, I need to calm down. Like that big brother voice you got in your ears.
Do this. It's probably too far. That nigga RaKai don't got that.
But also, you gotta remember, he's doing this shit for a stream. That's that nigga job. So he gonna do it to his fullest because he know he gonna make the bread over it. He breaks something, he gonna make it back. Which that's kind of fucked up to do. I'm just assuming that's what he doing.
He don't got that.
Now, if this ain't the pot calling the kettle black, then I don't know what is. Although Deshae Frost is acting like the Spider-Man meme right here in his sentiments, those sentiments are being echoed by a larger portion of the community.
I didn't pay attention to this nigga said.
Around adults in adult-like situations, which we can address in 2 seconds. Now, for me and my perspective, I see RaKai as being nothing more than an extension or an evolution of what's been going on in streaming over the past couple years. Now, don't get me excusing any of the incidents that happened at Streamer University, you know, the depictions of his room after the fact.
I ain't gonna lie. From the clips I've seen about Streamer University, that shit low-key look entertaining. Besides the classroom though, like off campus, how that nigga Kyle was just popping up on niggas, like that shit was entertaining.
Or, you know, his physical altercations, whether it be a fight with Dabo or the Orbeez incident.
Oh yeah. Damn, I gotta find this shit on TikTok now. Nigga double like twice that nigga height. Like, come on, bro. Like, you was just getting your self-respect. You got that shit taken by RaKai.
Watch the camera. Chill.
Niggas don't even watch the camera.
Stop, bro.
Oh, this was the video. He was like saying, "Oh, that was not me. It was the shame." But yeah, that's when the bitch got hit in the eye. I'm sorry, she's not a bitch. I don't know.
And we can only give so many excuses after time and time again situations like this happen, and now they're being escalated to where people are actually getting hurt. The one girl did get hit in the eye, and although it might have been stated that it was over exaggerated because she didn't end up in the hospital, she actually just ended up with an ice pack in her room. I still don't think that that should be something that's downplayed. Sure, it might have hit her on the skin of the eye, and she was
bro,
okay
that's
this time.
eyeball, my nigga. Like,
directly to the eye will literally blind somebody.
That's
the
still
reason why they provide goggles and tell you don't aim at people's faces when it comes to
the eyeball.
But I do say this is just the nature of the
Well, I
clip
feel what you're
farming
saying,
era
bro.
that we are in, with the one-upping culture that we are in, just trying to be over the top. And when you have a frontal lobe that isn't even starting to develop or is just in the processes of developing, I mean, this is the result of this. This is what people find entertaining. This is what people find content.
I mean, it is entertaining, but it's like
inherently to RaKai, he is just a product of the era, in my perspective. But I do think that we should be looking at this era and being more careful about what we put out into the ethos to say that, hey, this is okay, this is what we condone, this is fine and dandy. Because just like how I was critical of the other people on Kick doing things like this, I would still have to be fair and be critical of RaKai doing these exact same.
You spinning on top, my boy? You look just like your brother. That nigga low. I miss my ways.
Actions. Now, because of RaKai's actions, a lot of people have been questioning whether or not he should be in these situations. Not just because he doesn't know how to handle himself in these situations, but also because these are very adult-like situations that are around RaKai and in the surrounding areas. It's no secret that Kai, Cenat, and Collective continuously remind us that they are an adult platform. It's not their job to, you know, influence the kids a certain way, or, you know, they should be able to consume things like weed or alcohol alcohol, which is true. They are of age. But when RaKai is in those situations and we're facing criticism, those questions still come up and have to be taken into consideration.
I ain't gonna lie, bro, this is, it's 130,000 people watching, bro. You just said you're edging?
Nobody cares about edging.
Now it's like, okay, damn, I never knew my son was horny, so now she's putting 2 and 2 together.
She's looking at her bathroom wig. Like, what? She's looking at her towels, her rags.
It's over, again.
Let me see.
It's over,
Listen.
bro.
Let me see what?
Now, she's putting 2 and 2 together.
Let me see what?
Play.
Please send him home.
RaKai's mom is now texting Cenat to tell him, yeah, this is getting out of pocket and too far. Well, because
What that nigga need is an ass whooping. He need one of these. Actually, fuck that. He need a garden hose or fucking sandal. Or we can go back in the day. We can use some switches, and I am not talking about buttons. What y'all know about a guava stick? I don't know nothing like that, man.
he has put himself
It's a real whoop soldier right here.
into adult situations, or at least the adults around him have welcomed him into these situations. I don't know how to frame this, but essentially RaKai is in these adult situations in which he shouldn't be in. And because part of the WL community is innuendos about sexual things or, you know, alcohol or whatever the case may be, it only makes sense. And it only makes sense that he should not be there. I think it's
Yeah, but think about it, right? The people that's there with him, like Ray, Tyler, Kai, they all trying to keep him on the same path, but at the same time, he's still drifting away. The nigga is like, what, 16, 17? That's a grown ass man where I'm from, bro. Like, that's a grown, we look at you as a man. You can make your own decision. And there's people trying to guide you, like, they tell you, like, yo, you can't be doing this or that. Like, people who way ahead of you, my nigga, and you don't want to listen, it's on you. They try to help you.
fairly simple. Now, with that being said, do I believe that Cenat and the people around him like Talil, Punga, Ray, or whatever the case may be, aren't doing the best they can to protect him? Sure. Little Rodney's son is not having, you know, RaKai be in these situations. However, the
Little Rodney
nature
son.
of the WL community
My
is
fault,
putting him in
OG.
these situations. Do I think it would be different if RaKai was home? Probably not. He would still be making these jokes. But being in
He will be making the jokes, but a lot of his outburst actions, I feel like they wouldn't be the same. Because my nigga, he will not be fucking it. I'm just assuming. I don't feel like he will be fucking up his mama crib like that.
the environment puts you at an extraordinary
Maybe a couple controllers, you feel me? Bang on the desk a couple times, but like, I don't know.
opportunity to be
I don't know,
exposed
bro.
to a bunch of different things. And we've seen what's happened before in the past when young people, 15, 16 years old, are into these places and spaces, and it honestly does not end well.
This nigga burner page, whatever it is, someone running the second page is taking clips from 3-4 years ago, posting them with captions that aren't true, trying to defame
You know, this nigga look like my mans. Every time I look at him, I see two things. I seen the dog from Johnny Test, and I see one of my mans.
me and try to drag me down with Act. Now, does Act run this page? I don't think so. Do Act most likely have control over this page? Yes. Act, you came on my Song Wars, you judged shit. I appreciate that. That's love. But at the end of the day, if you are coming on stream and you are saying weird shit to a nigga, to a kid I basically view as my little brother, you feel me? Nor he's a Palestinian refugee. For anyone that doesn't understand, he's a Palestinian refugee. He lives in Malaysia. He doesn't speak Malay. He lost his mother. I've known him for like 2 years now. He's gone through a lot. I don't want him in these situations.
Forgot
where
about this.
He's getting asked these weird questions. I don't know why my sister's even coming up, gang. You know?
That Noor Academics and Black Boy Max situation from just a few months ago at the top
Damn.
of the was totally out.
I be forgetting how fast the internet moved, because that shit felt like a whole year ago. Like, how many shits happened during that little time jump?
Out of hand. And it's a situation that Noor shouldn't have even been in. But because the community dictates that this is the way that content is supposed to be made, then
Hell no.
ultimately this is just another young man that succumbed to the pressures of the adults that ultimately failed him in the name of content or trolling or joking or whatever
warming.
the hell be going on. And so then we wonder why these young kids ultimately end up regurgitating this nonsense, but it's because it's being spewed to them. And then not even just that, this ultimately becomes content for the entirety of the community to consume and make judge of.
It's just like, he did this, so now I gotta top that nigga. Pause. I gotta outdo him. So it's gonna be a, you feel me? Blah blah blah. Eventually, it's gonna come to an end where it's like it's gonna be up here and it's gonna drop all the way back down. Like all you gotta do is just put your face over a gameplay to blow up again.
Or light of any situation as if it's something to even be talked about in this manner.
You're still scamming people. You're asking people around me for money. You're doing things that you know you shouldn't be doing and playing
look
the
familiar.
I'm a kid card in order for you to get by, which is not cool. You've been on the internet long enough. You know the results of your actions, my nigga. You're scamming people, my supporters, my niggas in the com. You're doing all this, bro. You're scamming people outside, and you're playing
He's
that
scamming
cool
niggas?
role. That's just not it, bro.
Like, it's good that we're holding people accountable for the action,
Wait.
but content, like whether it be RaKai, whether it be Noor, whether it be
Nigga
whoever,
Noor is
these
scamming
16-year-olds
niggas?
should not be the content for 30-something-year-olds when it comes to making them the butt of the joke, laughing at them, you know, taking advantage of their childlike state or whatever the case may be. And the behavior only gets encouraged every time
he was
a
getting scammed.
non-serious video is made where, you know, people say that he needs a whooping or he's expelled and then he comes back or they treat him like a child or whatever. This is just only encouraging the behavior that's being depicted.
This RaKai nigga need a whooping, bro.
He really
This nigga
do need a
mad as
whooping.
hell.
He don't need like a belt to ass woman, like fist to ass whooping.
I ain't never paid attention to your ass as much as I did during the streamer university. Conversation.
And I'm not wishing for a little nigga to get beat up, but it's like you'll get your ass whooped.
You are expelled. RaKai, pack your shit up.
No, gang, listen, gang. Hold on, time out, bro.
Come on, pack your shit up.
Like niggas gave you how many chances, bro? You still fuck it up? There was mad niggas here.
Now look, one of the only reasons why I'm bringing this to
Nigga felt like he just came back from the block. You know he snitched and got out. McDonald's at.
Two specific reasons. Because I'm 30. I shouldn't be talking about RaKai and all this other stuff. I didn't report on it when it was him and Little Tay going back and forth. And
Should I be
honestly,
recording this
I'm
nigga?
employed. I shouldn't be talking about it now. But I find it very interesting, though,
I'm
that
only 20.
when it came to the Zoe Spencer situation, yes, I keep bringing it up, a couple weeks ago, that was taken very much more serious than the RaKai situation. I would think that both people would say that they are equally annoying, and
I feel like it's because she attacked a bigger streamer. I feel like that's why it was more drag. There's a lot more things they can gain from because he respond to it so that somebody can react to it. You feel me?
would dismiss both of them if it was all equal, right? But are we going to continue to give him the 16-year-old pass?
Are they equal though? I mean, they both annoying. But this nigga be hurting niggas. I don't really know it's over like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad.
And then secondly, and most importantly, I think that this is an opportunity to take a look at the nature of what WL content is, streaming is, whatever the case may be. I saw Streamer University this weekend, and while there were a bunch of magnificent things to say, if we're being critical of what's going on in the future, I saw clip farming to an immature level that I thought I would never see in my life.
Why do it smell like that? Ew.
We going, bro. I don't give a fuck. I'm taking everything. Oh yeah, flour. Oh my god, hold on. We are not done. Hey, taking everything.
Niggas been there for what, 4 or 5 days? And this one got that I ain't gonna lie. My room do be getting messy. But I be cleaning up every couple days. I clean damn near every day because it get messy every day. But at least I'm doing something to clean it.
Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Y'all niggas think it's appropriate to come in my fucking room when I'm not there? It's a difference between content, nigga. Learn the fucking difference, bitch ass nigga. Get this nigga the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I stepped into another man's room. Nah.
So while I definitely
I think people, I don't know why people feel like because it's for content, it's appropriate. Like, my nigga, you just trespass into another man's room. You can't do that shit in college. but we got the cameras out. He's content. This content. So we understand, nigga, no, we're still humans. We still got respect.
Definitely understand Agent's gripes about, you know, what No Limit J did to his room at Stream University. I'm definitely not condoning anybody breaking into that place and space for him. I just have to ask the question, how would he or why would he know the difference between what content is and not content, what that line is, whether he's over it or whatever the case may
The
be?
damn
If
cameras.
what he sees is
If
that
I'm
type
wrong.
of content being rewarded on a daily basis. RaKai ended up being a top 4 most watched channel on Streamer University, and most of it was based out of his top 4 most.
DDG, Ray, Kai Cenat came in at number 3. Funny Mike, I don't know who number 8 is. India Love, Tyler, Asian.
Watch channel
So who was
on
number 10?
Streamer University, and most of it was based out of his actions and shenanigans. He got millions of views off of clips, and if I'm an onlooker and I see that that's what's being rewarded with having the opportunity to not only go to Streamer University, to not only be one of the most watched channels, but to constantly be around Kai Cenat as well, being in that Clover house and changing my life. I mean, what 16-year-old wouldn't replicate that? That's a situation.
It's kind of like, right? Let's say your favorite streamer, your favorite content creator, right? They only respond to the negative comments, right? And you want to get their attention. You see that you spread love is not getting their attention. But when motherfuckers hate on them, that's the quickest way to get their attention, right? Couple motherfuckers, they gonna start spreading hate just so they can get the attention. Cause you ever seen somebody like, oh, your video is ass, da, da, da. The creator respond, I was like, oh, I'm just playing, I actually love your videos. Wait, what was I about to say? So it's kind of like, bro, you an upcoming streamer, and the big niggas, that's what they're doing, and you see that they're getting numbers. Obviously, a lot of people, they're gonna try to do that, bro. Like, it's a numbers game. Everybody trying, you feel me?
That a lot of 16-year-olds don't get. RaKai is essentially, and I know this is going to sound like uber glazed to him, and it's probably so, he definitely is still taking advantage and working hard at his craft. I don't want to get that wrong. But RaKai is like the equivalent of, I don't know, a top high school prospect right now. He is slated to be one of the biggest streamers in the next couple of years.
Nigga, how's that glaze? You're giving a nigga his roses. We gotta separate glaze. See, glaze and giving somebody your roses. There need to be this much space. Cause y'all seen it like this. It's supposed to be like
if he just continues down this path and trajectory. But if we look at the path and the trajectory, it is the type of content that was just criticized a couple weeks ago. So if I'm a young streamer, I'm a little bit conflicted, and not really even conflicted. Okay, they got one person out of here, Zoe or whatever, there's all these reasons, but I see RaKai over here reaching new heights. I see No Limit J reaching new heights. I see all these content creators reaching new heights by doing this exact same extreme
exactly
content. Sure, they shouldn't be an adult situation.
It's a copy and paste formula.
Like that is a full stop. And I don't think that people are putting them in that. So I want to refute that narrative as a whole. But at the end of the day, if they are looking at this type of content and they're also seeing the success, why not replicate it? You guys tell me, should they do something about RaKai? Should they kick him out in order to, you know, set a good example or stay consistent?
But if they kick him out and they just gonna come back, there's plenty of times where they're trying to put bro out from the G League house, even in Stream University, but he came back. And it's like, your luck gonna run on one of these days, bro. Like, there's, you know how many people who killed, murdered to be in this nigga position? And it's like, bro, you keep on fucking up, my guy. Let me read the comments. I get one of the brain rock crash out, so you're so